Hello, everybody. Happy Tuesday. Hello.
Good morning.
How is everybody? Okay, coming up on today's show. First of all, happy Tuesday. Coming up on today's show, we got white men for Kamala, and they are as weird as you might expect. Speaking of weird, that's what the left's new buzzword is for JD Vance, and their lack of self-awareness should be studied by scientists at this point. Also, Debra Messing is this close, you guys, this close to understanding how she's been indoctrinated. She's this close.
So close.
So close, yet so far. And there's a new prediction of who's going to win in November by a professor who's correctly guessed the winner since 1984. So there's that. All that and more coming up on the show today. Make sure you're subscribed. Clicked all the buttons and the bells and the whistles and even more buttons and bells and whistles. Click everything. Click it all. Do it.
And then when you click notifications, which is, I think, the bell, then you get notified when you
do.
Notified when there's new
we
stuff.
pop up and we go, hello.
And then if you miss something, you can always put it in your pocket with that subscription for later. So
right back there in your fanny pack or backpack, whatever.
Man, you guys, I had the highest hopes yesterday afternoon. I was like, this is kind of a slow news day. I'm liking this. I think it's going to be a normal show, like a regular show.
No.
It's going to be a long show today. Maybe like not quite. No, it will. It's going to be just as long, I think.
It's going to be a long show.
There's just a lot of stupid stuff going on.
As long as John Kerry's face. It's going to be long, you guys.
I don't know if it's going to be that long, but it is going to be a long show today. And we have to start. I feel terrible. I missed a Venmo yesterday. I always feel bad about that when that happens. And it was while we were talking about the Olympics hullabaloo. And Sharon Hamilton sent this saying, Eric Erickson said that the translation of the Olympics drag show was The Last Supper in the Seine, which it was. Like the name of that segment was like the French translation for it was basically The Last Supper on the Seine. And they were doing it because it's like there was like a lot of alliteration with the French language, like sur la Seine, whatever. It doesn't matter. But that was what they called it. And so for them to now backpedal and be like,
it wasn't The Last Supper. It wasn't that. No, we were
beast. What are you talking about?
Dionysus or whatever the heck it was. Yeah. No, it's not
nonsense. Also, we could probably spend a whole show talking about the absolute insanity that is taking place in Venezuela right now, and good on the people who voted clearly out. They wanted Maduro out. They voted for the other guy. The other guy clearly won with a huge majority. Maduro is like, that's not accurate. And I'm
not effing leaving.
I'm not even leaving. We're sending out the military to like shoot at civilians who are trying to protest this vote. And the reason that's happening, of course, is because it's a full-blown commie country.
Right. This is the thing. It's what happens when you get communism, man. This is what happens. And we could spend a lot of time on it, but there's so much going on here in our own country that we have to worry about that we're only going to talk about this for a little bit. Rick Scott tweeted that today is a dark day for democracy in Latin America. Maduro has stolen another election from the Venezuelan people, and the Biden-Harris administration helped him do it by fueling his power with sanctions relief and appeasement. Gonzalez won. He must be recognized as president-elect. Yeah, well, they love communism. Democrats love communism, so of course they helped him do it.
And Spike Cohen had a good point. He said Venezuelans are learning you can vote your way into socialism, but you'll have to shoot your way out of it. 2 lessons: don't vote for socialists. Don't give up your guns.
A to the men,
right?
Those are 2 very, very good lessons. Everybody, read those again. Share it with your friends. Rubio also with similar sentiments as Rick Scott, saying that Biden and Harris broadly eased Trump sanctions on the Maduro regime as part of a deal for free and fair elections in Venezuela. And today that election happened and it was a complete fraud. And it's just one more example of how our enemies keep suckering Biden and Harris repeatedly, and they constantly give in to the worst of the worst.
Because they're weak and pathetic.
Mm-hmm. And Elon even said that he believes the risk of the United States becoming Venezuela if Trump is not elected is very, very real.
I agree 150%. We've been saying that forever, right? I mean, this is the thing. This is what they want. They want socialism. They are socialists. That's what these people are. They're Marxists. So yeah, beware. Vote accordingly.
Also, so anyway, we're following that. We're watching it's crazy what's happening on the ground there in Venezuela. And it's probably just going to keep getting crazier over the next 2 days. And we'll be watching that carefully. Meanwhile, RFK tweeted this out yesterday. This is kind of alarming. He said, HHS Secretary Becerra just issued a PrEP Act declaration for bird flu. This allows the FDA to issue emergency use authorizations for bird flu vaccines with no liability. And our U.S. government has ordered 4.8 million doses of bird flu from the CSL Seqirus company, produced in dog kidney cells and using a dangerous squalene-containing adjuvant. The AMA issued CPT codes for this vaccine last Friday, so doctors could be reimbursed for administering it.
Of course they could.
And then he said there have been a total of 11 cases of bird flu in the U.S. since 2022, all mild, mostly just causing like eye problems. None were shown to have been transmitted human to human. So why would you need this vaccine unless you expected a much more virulent virus to appear, which had mysteriously gained the ability to spread between humans?
Here we go. Damn. Here we go again. Yeah, and when we were talking about this earlier, listen, I wouldn't. You think we in here are like, there's no way they're going to do this again, right? There's just no way. But way, they totally could do it again, because half of the country would be lockstep. They'd be like, "Yes, sir, may I have another?" And they'd put the mask back on, and they would like get 18 jabs, and they would do it. The other half would be like, "Oh, hell nah.
No."
Yeah, I mean, this is the thing, but that is, as the kids would say, sus
and sketch, all of it.
Yep, and it is an election year. It's an election year, so just saying.
It just is. That's all. The timing of that is all very, very sus.
Very sus.
I'll tell you what's not sus at all, and that is the benefits that you get from Field of Greens. This is a green powder, like a health powder that you pour into water. You can mix it up in a smoothie. You can use it in fruit juice. You can mix it in various ways. If you're like a sociopath, for example, you could put it in milk.
Oh, yeah, you could. You
could
put it. You could.
No offense.
Complete lunatic.
No offense.
Now, if you're less of a lunatic, put it in chocolate milk. If you're less of a lunatic.
Okay, that's disgusting. That's gross, because this tastes like a fruit drink. Okay, this is just one flavor. This is the wild berry. But what you need to know about Field of Greens is that if you're not a person who eats the required number of fruits and veggies in your diet every day, this is the way that you cheat. You get by getting all those nutrients from Field of Greens with a delicious drink. This is not a watered down extract. It is an organic superfood. It is whole fruits and veggies. And it is only Field of Greens is backed by this better health promise, which means that at your next checkup, if your doctor doesn't notice your improved health, you get your money back. That's how much they believe in their product. And we do too, especially because it tastes so yummy. So if you want to try it, you should visit FOGCHICKS, FOGCHICKS.com, and use code CHICKS to get 15% off of your first order. Plus you're going to get free shipping, free rush shipping. Again, it's FOGCHICKS, FOGCHICKS.com. Use code CHICKS. We have some thanks to give to Mel Hope 9, who said, I've been taking Field of Greens every day for 2 weeks. I feel so much better. I need less sleep, so I'm up to see the chicks live. Look at that.
I love it.
Look at that.
It's fantastic.
Awesome. And Mike Sassman says, enjoying my breakfast with a side of awesome sauce. How's that for a throwback? Hashtag take my money. Oh my god.
It's so true. Awesome sauce. Oh my god, I love it.
All right. Yesterday, of course, one of the pieces of big news is that Biden decided that he's going to completely blow up the Supreme Court and the way that it's worked for the last jillion years, because he wants to appease to the far left and he wants to just completely revamp how it operates. And so he was leaving the White House to go and give a speech about this. He was in Austin, I think, and he left, and he's so demented at this point that he doesn't realize that when there's a helicopter going and there's reporters way back here screaming questions at you, when you answer those questions, nobody can hear you. Okay, so this is what it looked like.
Can Harris beat Trump? Can Harris beat Trump? Can you come closer, sir?
Mr. President! Oh my god.
They can't hear you.
What?
Mr.
Mr. President, how can you put term limits on the Supreme? We saw this. My husband and I saw this footage yesterday, and Greg actually did an imitation of him in the living room. He was just like, he's so old. He can't the way he walks. He was just laughing at the way that he walks, and he's just like, watch, and he's shuffling across the floor. I was dying laughing. Listen, I don't think he's going to do any, when it comes to Supreme Court, I think it's a wish list. Nothing. Do you honestly think he's going to
he can't do anything.
He can't do shit, you guys.
He's powerless to do the things that he's asking for. But the fact of the matter is he's starting the conversation to get the more radical people in his party, like Kamala, to start talking about it so that it becomes a thing. Democrats are so good at this. They make things issues that weren't issues. That's why we hear so much talk about reparations, right? It's the same thing. Before, even back in Obama's presidency, he scoffed at the idea of reparations. Obama scoffed at it. And now it's like a routine thing that people talk about all the time. And if Democrats take power, it will happen.
As you would say, it's like this is his idea of manifestation.
Exactly. That's exactly right. Exactly right. So here was the breaking news report from Fox about Joe Biden's plan. He released an op-ed about it. Obviously, he didn't write it, but he released an op-ed, and then his Twitter account released a summary of the op-ed. And here are the 3 pillars of his plan.
President Biden has just announced proposals to reform the Supreme Court. This happening literally a minute ago. These would include no immunity for crimes a former president committed in office, term limits for Supreme Court justices, and a binding code of conduct for the Supreme Court. Joe Biden also releasing a new op-ed this morning saying in part, quote, this nation was founded on a simple yet profound principle. No one is above the law. Not the President of the United States, not a justice on the Supreme Court of the United States, no one. I have overseen more Supreme Court nominations as Senator, Vice President, and President than anyone living today. I have great respect for our institutions and separation of powers. What is happening now is not normal, and it undermines the public's confidence in the court's decisions, including those impacting personal freedoms. We now stand in a breach. Katie Cherkasky is a constitutional law attorney and former federal prosecutor. She's here now to react. Katie, that's a mouthful. What's your reaction to those plans?
Well, these are very pie-in-the-sky type of ideas. Nothing about the Supreme Court reforms could be immediately implemented, but it certainly shows the position of the Democrat Party. They don't like the outcome of the court's ruling, so they want to change the rules here. So many of these reforms would require, if not legislation, actual constitutional amendments. So again, not politically viable at the moment, but certainly a strong and radical position.
Yes.
Oh, it's radical.
Yeah, I love how. Sorry, I didn't see who said it, but somebody says 52-year employee of the federal government now wants term limits.
Right. I mean, that was everybody's immediate reaction is how dare you talk about term limits when you've been in the Senate your entire existence?
Right. Now do Congress and the Senate. Shut up with this.
Oh my God.
And then he wants an ethics code. He wants a code of ethics. Do you know what the word ethics means? He wrote none of this.
None of it.
He has no idea what even went out. None of this was written by him. He doesn't write.
And it's amazing too, because this court has by and large been actually very, very fair. They've just, because there's been plenty of times that they've ruled with Democrats and all of us have been like, oh, that sucks, right? Like we've been disappointed plenty by this Supreme Court, which should actually make people feel much more confident in it.
Right.
Because they don't just do things that conservatives expect them to do every time. They weigh every case on its individual merits and they vote and they,
they do. Sometimes I'm super disappointed in them. I'm super disappointed in the quote conservatives when they rule on things. And furthermore, Joe Biden has put his middle finger up at the Supreme Court at certain things, as we've seen during his tenure as president. And so when it comes to code of ethics or, just like doing the having power and control over things, like he is doing the wrong thing by, you know what? Well, the Supreme Court says X, I'm going to do Y. I'm just going to give him the middle finger and do it. Dude, like this whole op-ed is just such a hypocritical piece of crap.
I mean, it's insane. And so they're so blind to their own damage that they have done to public perception of the Supreme Court. They're constantly railing after Clarence Thomas on nonsense. I mean, they are constantly doing this. And then they're like, oh my gosh, nobody trusts the Supreme Court. Yeah, because you idiots keep denigrating it. It is your fault. Oh my gosh, it just makes me so mad. Obviously, Kamala Harris, released her own statement and she's supporting it too. They're just mad because they didn't like some of the rulings. So what their answer is to explode the whole thing.
Yep.
It's so typically Democrat.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So Biden went to Austin to talk about this, and I tried to watch the speech, and I was like, oh, Biden's addressing the country. I should probably tune into that. I was sleeping like 30 seconds in. I could not bear it, you guys. Did anybody try to listen to this?
Yeah, I can't with him anymore.
Unbearable. And then, so I did listen to the part where he brought up Project 2025. Now, what that has to do with the Supreme Court? Is anybody
who's gonna start fact checking that crap? I am so sick of it. I see it on our social media pages, and I will call people out. I'm like, you are uninformed. You're a liar. You're either one of the two. Just stop it with the Project 2025 crap. Seriously, it's a talking point it's a lie. And people, y'all, if you see it, call people out because Trump has a whole other agenda. It's a completely different and separate agenda that has nothing to do with Project 2025. So call people out on that.
I mean, for real. It was so funny. There was a video going around that actually was Kamala's headquarters, the official Kamala headquarters account, retweeted this old video of JD Vance being interviewed. And so it just shows JD Vance and he's talking about like his policy ideas, whatever. And the caption from Kamala headquarters said, here's JD Vance completely promoting and saying that he believes in Project 2025.
Oh my God.
The problem was that the interviewer was Ben Dominic, who did the interview back in 2021 before Project 2025 was even a thing. And so he retweeted it and said, this isn't about Project 2025. I should know because I'm the one doing the freaking interview. But that's the level of deception that the Kamala campaign can get away with right now without being fact-checked.
Yeah, they will never be fact-checked by this media, by this propaganda machine that is our media. It's ridiculous. We seriously live in communist China now when it comes to the media. Oh
my God.
They're insane
media stuff to talk about too.
Yeah, we do.
But anyway, Biden brought up Project 2025 in his SCOTUS remarks yesterday. And so I did clip a little bit of that just so you can hear how they continue to lie about this ridiculous thing.
Now, there's an extreme movement and agenda called Project 2025.
God, shut up.
Well, by the way, they're serious, man. They're planning another onslaught attacking civil rights in America. For example, Project 2025 calls aggressively attacking diversity, equity, and inclusion all across all aspects of American life.
I mean, it's just garbage. It's just garbage.
It's just whenever that guy speaks, he freaking lies.
Yeah.
Lies.
And then he started going off script. And I was like, what?
Scranton. He's talking about Scranton again.
I don't know, you guys, just listen. You tell me. And it's weird because what you just heard from the Project 2025, that was like midway through the speech. And then by the end, he barely can talk. Like that's how tired out he gets And that's how quickly, because listen to the difference in the voice.
You know, an 8x10 bathroom, a shower, and a stall.
Oh my God.
And I had my towel around me and the shaving cream on my face, and I went bam, bam, bam at my door. And I thought it was the guys that came down with. The guy was had a talk show named Bob Cunningham, was a big civil rights guy. And 2 others. So I thought it was them. I walked to open the door. There was a former governor, former Supreme Court justice, swear to God, the state chairman, and the former congressman. And they said, we just had dinner. Well, I said, I'm sorry, gentlemen. I walked in, I ran to the bathroom, shake the shave grip, thinking I could put something on there with nothing here. I walked back out with the towel, I'm standing against a nail, a desk nail to the wall, and they're on the beds that are nailed, or the headboards are nailed to the wall.
What is even happening right now? What's going on? I don't even, what's going on?
You should run for the United States Senate.
He's a selfless patriot, you guys. I don't even know what happened there. I don't know. Just put him back to bed.
I know. But people were making the same point that we were just talking about. So the tone-deaf lack of self-awareness it takes for Joe Biden, the dictionary definition of a career politician, to call for term limits for another branch of government as he is literally being forced out by his own party.
Right.
It's too much.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? It's just like, just shut up and go away already.
Governor Ron DeSantis also said, how about term limits for members of Congress? And Mary Catherine Ham, she said, now that I've honorably limited my government service to just 51 years,
exactly,
I think the proper limit for a position that's supposed to be lifetime should be 18. Rules start now.
Right now, this second, after I've sucked off the teat of the American taxpayer for half of a century.
Gosh, people. I mean,
they're all gross. They're just drain it all and start over.
Audrey Krause, thank you. She said, Biden is so dangerous talking about changing the Supreme Court, making it seem that they aren't honorable only when they don't get what they want. Exactly. That's why he wants to upend the whole thing.
They're flipping the game table. That's what they're doing.
Yeah. Judy Flood says, good morning from Ohio, where it's raining. Good morning. And a box of frocks, said this man basically is running this country with Alzheimer's.
He's not running the country. Obama's running the country. Make no mistake. And he's running for a 4th term because he knows he can control Kamala. Also, make no mistake. That's what's happening, because he knows that Kamala is controllable because she too is an idiot.
I have a feeling, though, if that happens, he's going to think he can control her. And then like 6 months in, she's going to be so freaking power hungry. That's going to be a rift. You know what I mean?
Because she's going to get past her insecurity and then she's going to get power hungry.
Well, she's already power hungry, but she's going to, in power, she's going to know she's the president. She doesn't have to listen to anybody.
She's going to be like, I'm not insecure anymore. I'm a complete idiot lunatic who is also so incredibly far left, like the farthest left that we've ever seen. She's just going to start doing the things.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's an interesting hypothesis there.
FFS Jenny O says Field of Greens plus wine equals sangria.
Oh my God.
I mean, wine is an interesting.
Why aren't you doing that?
I like that.
Okay.
Michael Steller says, I can't believe female Black Americans are voting for Kamala just because of skin color. Identity politics is alive and well.
Oh my gosh, you guys. It's happening. Like, I have a couple Black girlfriends that are in my social media circles, and like one is in the military. And I'm just like, what are you doing? And she's like, I can't wait to vote for Kamala. And it's because she's Black.
Oh my God.
And you don't want to get into it with these people because you're just like, I'm not going to change your mind. I'm not going to do it. But you have to
try. You have to try.
It's all about skin color. And it's just gross because I'm like, you're smarter than that. You know, like, what are you doing? I don't get it. I wouldn't vote for a white woman just because she's a white woman.
Right.
I just wouldn't do that. I don't get that. I can't wrap my brain around that. I'm just not going to do it. I wouldn't vote for Nikki Haley just because she's a white woman. So what is that?
She's brown.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
Just kidding.
Okay.
I mean, I'm not kidding, but you know what I mean.
Okay, but you know what I mean. I'm not going to, okay. I wouldn't vote for Kristi Noem because she's a white woman.
Right. And because she kills dogs. So
Well,
sorry, I'm totally not trying to step on your.
I'm trying to make. I wouldn't vote for you just because you're my best friend and white woman. Okay. But actually, I probably would vote for you because you're my best friend. But not because you're a white woman. But still.
Oh my God. Lisa Bright says no one except border crossers. I don't know what that means.
I don't know what that means either. I don't know.
Jose Rodriguez says, good morning from Texas. The bird flu summit is scheduled for October 2024 in DC. For real. Look it up.
It's the agenda. The October surprise.
The agenda will make your eyes roll right out of your head. SMOD, where are you? Take all my money. Sweet meteor of death.
Sweet, you guys. Sweet. Hold on. Sweet meteor of death. Just ended already. All right.
Evyatar Ashkenazi says Biden speaks. Me 5 more minutes, mom. Zzz. Yeah, I mean it's impossible to listen to him without falling asleep. Honestly. Joan Bacon says, chicks, thank you so much for waiting through all these Biden speeches so that we don't have to. The current Supreme Court was set up in 1869. I know, by people a lot smarter than who are in place right now. My God. Anyway. So let's move on.
Let's do that.
Because again, it's going to be a long show.
It's going to be a long show.
But we do need to talk about what happened with Facebook yesterday, although it's been corrected. USA Today and Facebook, there were all kinds of fact checking. There was fact checking happening with that famous Trump photo, the iconic photo of him holding up his fists with the flag in the background and blood pouring out of his head. The photo that everybody has just like burned in their memory. If you had that on Facebook or Instagram, some people were getting fact checked saying that it was an altered photo.
My God. Yeah, they're going to stop at nothing.
Well, people were losing their minds. And because this got a lot of traction, one of the communications people from Facebook said, yes, this was an error. This fact check was initially applied to a doctored photo showing the Secret Service agent smiling.
Really?
And in some cases, our systems incorrectly applied that fact check to the real photo. This has been fixed and we apologize for the mistake. And then there was a New York Post article about how they admitted that they were wrong. But it just made me so mad because if they would just think about how often they do get it wrong and how much they have ruined and warned and blocked pages like ours, costing us actual money, by the way. And we're not the only ones because they constantly do shit like this and they never correct it.
They don't
backtrack.
Never
fix the record.
Right.
And this stuff happens all the time. And they're like, oh, sorry, this one got a lot of attention. Okay, we'll apologize.
Yeah, it happens. Oh my God, it happens every day and it ruins businesses.
Yeah.
It ruins people and they don't give a shit. Yeah. So you're right. You're at 150% correct. Yeah. It's just, this is outrageous. And for this to happen, I'm kind of not buying what they're selling.
I know.
We did this. We put a fact check because there was a Secret Service agent smiling in one of the altered photos. Like, okay.
Get better AI then. I don't know what to tell you. Stop making your fact check algorithms use auto systems because they suck and they're ruining lives. I need to share with you the most amazing little testimonial as soon as I find my little banner here from Zero Debt. So if you are someone who's struggling with debt right now and you're getting all the collections notices and the calls and the IRS is after you and you're like freaking out and thinking about filing for bankruptcy, you don't have to do that. You can simply visit zapmydebt.com and talk to the good folks at Zero Debt USA about how they might help you. We have one of our own insiders who took advantage of that program and sent me a testimonial saying Zero Debt USA has already settled 2 of my debts. Yay. First one, I owed $1,027, mostly all interest and fees, and I settled for $513. The next debt was for $1,491, again, all damn interest, and settled for $745. At this rate, in 36 months, I will have all of my debt settled and no bankruptcy needed. Highly recommend the program. Also, my mom is enrolled in the program as well, and she had a creditor take her to court. Being on a fixed income and elderly, she was scared and didn't know what to do. The debt company said, don't worry about it, and they sent a lawyer on her behalf to court. This is the kind of stuff that they will do, what Zero Debt USA will do to help you get out of your dilemma. So before you do anything rash, please just call them or go to their website and get yourself a consultation and just listen, because quite likely they can help you the same way that they helped our insider at zapmydebt.com. All right. So back to this, this doctoring and the Facebook and the apology and all the nonsense. They're, of course, not the only ones in the mainstream media or mainstream social media to do all this ridiculous crap. We've been used to this from the media forever. This is just another example. So Trump rightly said that Kamala wants to ban fracking because she's been on tape a zillion times saying exactly that. And so when now her team is coming out and saying, nuh-uh, she's not doing that. That's not happening. And the way Politico headlines it is to say Harris campaign pledges she won't ban fracking after Trump accusation.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
It's not an accusation.
No, it isn't, because she flip flops and it's kind of like now, oh, she wasn't the border czar. Come on.
Right?
I mean, this is what they're doing now. They're reinventing her. They're rebranding her. We know who she is. Everybody knows who she is, and they know how far left she is, and we know what she's capable of.
Yeah. I mean, you can't hate the media enough. You can't. And there's so many more examples of it. With all that's going on in Venezuela, the New York Times decided to say that this is about brutal capitalism. So they're saying this: if the election decision holds and Maduro remains in power, he will carry Chavismo, the country's socialist-inspired movement, into its third decade in Venezuela. Founded by Chavez, the mentor of Mr. Maduro, the movement initially promised, as they always do, to lift millions out of poverty. And for a time it did, until they ran out of other people's money. But in recent years, the socialist model, this is according to the New York Times, has given way to brutal capitalism with a small state-connected minority controlling much of the nation's wealth. No, that's not capitalism. That's communism. That's how it works.
Oh my God, these people, like, they will just make crap up. And there are some people who will believe this garbage, but you're absolutely right. It is full-blown communism in Venezuela. And now the people are rising up, because they're like, we can't take it. We're done. You are not going to do this to us. And now that's what they're doing. They're revolting against it. It is it is communism. It is not capitalism. How dare they do this? How dare they try to reframe it?
I know, like a small state-connected minority.
Oh my God.
How do they say that? How do they write that and not feel terrible about themselves?
But the thing is that there are people in this country who are trying to do the same. There are people here who are like, listen, socialism will help lift people out of poverty. And you're absolutely right. They've done this how many times? Everywhere in the course of history. They always promise, we're going to lift you up. We're going to make everybody equal. It's all about equity, right? All that bull crap about equity. And there are all these people on the left who promise that stuff. And this is how it begins. Yeah. It's like, we will lift you up. We will make sure that everybody's equal, and it's going to be great. And it's going to be different here. It's going to be so different. No, it's not. It's never different. It always ends like this. And it ends with, death and destruction and people like eating the zoo animals. And then this is what happens. People have to do an uprising against their government because they can't, because they're starving. It's unreal.
This is the New York Times. And it's amazing to me. Like this level of gaslighting, exactly like AG says, it's an insane level of gaslighting.
Yeah. They're a bunch of commies. They love this. If you love it so much, go live there.
Also, AI, as we've talked about in recent days, it's a huge, huge problem as well. So I guess Chat GPT, you can ask if it's okay to misgender Caitlyn Jenner if it saves Donald Trump from being assassinated. And Chat GPT is like, you can't misgendering. You can't misgender. That's like really, really bad. So Caitlyn Jenner had to retweet it and was like, I give full permission to misgender me. Cannot believe I even have to say that to save a president of the United States from being assassinated. What the hell?
What kind of craziness what are we doing? This is why, I don't I never ask Chat GPT anything. I don't even go there. I don't do anything with that. I just don't, because it's what a nightmare. That whole thing. Just don't. And teach your kids not to do it either, because ew. What is that?
It's not just Chat GPT, it's all of the AI systems. The Snapchat version is telling people there hasn't been any confirmed information about an assassination attempt on Donald Trump. It may not have really happened. That was what the question was. I don't think it actually happened. You're right. There hasn't been any confirmation of that, says AI.
Oh my God. It's just unreal. It's mind control is what it is. It's just absolute propaganda and mind control. Just keep your kids away from this absolute garbage.
Terrifying that people are relying on it in any way.
It really is.
And Debra Messing, the reason for my name today, Debra Messing, as a Jewish person, she has been on the right side of the Israel-Gaza war for the most part. And she was reacting to that horrible bombing, the Hezbollah bombing of the Druze children in the Golan Heights. And she's furious with how it's being portrayed in the media. And she's absolutely 1,000 billion% right. The problem is that she's not extrapolating that to the rest of the media narrative about everything about which she has been deceived. And so it's amazing to me that she can be this right and not see the bigger picture. But here's what she said about the Washington Post.
I'm shattered. 48 hours ago, 12 children were killed at a playground by a Hezbollah rocket. In addition to the loss of these beautiful children, 39 civilians were treated by the hospital. Israel has provided evidence that the rocket was Iranian-made with an enormous 50-kilogram warhead. It was a vile, targeted attack on kids playing soccer by a proxy of the Islamic Republic in Iran, Hezbollah, based in southern Lebanon, after launching over 7,000 rockets on Israel in just the last few months. And how did the Washington Post report this terror attack on northern Israel? Alongside a photo of the grieving Druze families? Israel hits Lebanon. What? The international media perverted and twisted the story. BBC, AP, Sky News, all of them spread propaganda directly from the Islamic Republic in Iran and showed abhorrent disrespect for the children and their mourning families. This is unconscionable. These poor families are grieving, and then the international media erases their reality? What happened to honest journalism?
Oh my God.
Welcome.
Welcome to the party, pal. Welcome. It's like, and also, side note, I think she's one of those celebrities that did like the black and white chanting PSA videos for Barack Obama, who gave pallets and pallets of cash to Iran. So maybe you should take it up with him. He's the guy you voted for. I mean, I know you probably voted for Biden too. So maybe think about that. Maybe you should start to get red pilled. These people, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for her and how she's trying to process that as a human being. It sucks for her, but wake up, lady.
I know. That's what was so frustrating, because I was like, bravo. I'm glad someone with her influence is saying what needs to be said, but she could so easily just realize what this means for her entire world view.
She won't, but she won't. She still is going to be like, I'm a Democrat.
I mean, she's so close.
She's so close, but she's like a Bill Maher who says things once in a while that make all the sense. But he's like, I will like walk over broken glass to vote for the guy with dementia. Yeah. This is what these people do. And then it's like, okay, well, I cannot help you because you cannot help yourself.
Mm-hmm. Lisa Bright just clarified. She said, no one is above the law except border crossers. Okay. That makes sense. Thank you.
That and Hunter Biden.
Yeah, exactly. Master of Disaster says many people are saying low energy JD Vance might be one of the worst VP picks ever. Sad. That we'll get to JD Vance in a little bit and his weirdness. This is the new word that they're trying to attach him. Yeah, some people don't agree that he's a great pick. I don't know. I don't see what's wrong with him. I think that once the debates happen, I think people are going to see he knows his stuff. He knows what he's talking about. I don't know why people have such a problem.
Who would have been would like Doug Burgum would have been higher energy? What the hell?
I don't know why people are so, well, I mean, I do know why. They need to pick on something, right? And so they're just going to pick on everything.
Because our party can't rally. Because we get a bitch and moan about stuff. That's what we do.
Ms. Cadillac says you might want to get rid of Master of Disaster. It's a trolling bot. If a trolling bot is sending us money, that's an amazing bot. Like why are you doing that? If you're here to troll, that's super weird. Okay. Reba Henry says the women that have ran for president on the Democrat ticket always make women look bad. Voting for a woman only because she's a woman is really ignorant. Look at their record, right?
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. And Evitar says Hezbollah kept shooting on the medics and ambulances while they removed the injured people and bodies from the area, yet the media is quiet. Oh my God. It's infuriating.
Our media is disgraceful. They're just disgusting. And I can't believe people don't realize that by now. After everything that we've been through with them, it's like being in an abusive relationship. And I think a lot of people on our side were like, yeah, we're divorced now because they were an SOB. But so many people on the left are like, oh, but I still love them so much. Really? Okay.
Well, Tucker is very much looking forward to the day when the mainstream media and the old school news programs are just done. And he thinks that day is coming pretty soon.
What is the life expectancy of disinformation networks like CNN and NBC and all these organizations that spread lies against the best interests of our country?
I think it's pretty short. I don't think they have much time left. I feel sad when industries collapse. I mean, I was always rooting for the coal miners. You know what I mean? And the people who make fax machines. Like I hate change. But the collapse of the legacy media will be one of the happiest days of my life. And I say that as someone who spent his life in legacy media. I'm the son of someone who did the same. So I've been in it literally for 55 years. And I think it's not only dishonest. There are dishonest things that persist through the generations. But the peculiar combination of dishonest, preachy, stupid, and unattractive is very tough to sustain. And that's where they are. Like, there's almost nobody on any of those channels who's not stupid and a liar.
Yep.
There are some, like I know everybody, so there are some who got trapped there or something. You know what I mean? It's like being stuck in an elevator with people who haven't bathed and they can't get out. But most of them know exactly what they're doing, and they deserve to be punished for it through unemployment. And I think that's coming really soon, simply because nobody wants the product. Who would watch that crap? When Trump got shot the other day, I've asked everybody I've ever talked to in the last 2 weeks, where did you get your news when that happened? In the most dramatic, horrible possible thing. Trump is shot. Oh my gosh. Did anybody go to a cable news network or to a broadcast? Of course not. Of course not. Exactly. So that just tells you right there, they're done. And the last thing I'll say is, if you're no longer the source of news, the place where people go, Walter Cronkite, I want to see the moon landing, right? They're not that, demonstrably. So then what's left? Well, analysis or entertainment. Well, they're not entertaining. They're preachy and screechy and just absolutely awful and plastic and enhanced and in no sense appealing at all. It's very unattractive people with terrible personalities. And their analysis is stale.
How do you
and
really
stupid.
feel, though, Tucker?
I just couldn't have more contempt, and it's the contempt bred from familiarity. It's not like I'm guessing at this. I spent my life with these people trapped in that elevator, and I just despise them. I have no respect at all.
I love that. And they're plastic and enhanced. I love that so much. It's the greatest thing ever. It's so awesome.
If he had any friends left at Fox, he probably doesn't now.
Well, I mean, he listen, he knows. He did it. He lived it. So, I mean, he's right. And I agree with him 100%. I hope that whole industry just implodes. Mm-hmm. And where did you get your news when you heard that Trump was shot? Because I tried to go to the mainstream media initially, and I couldn't find what I needed. And so I get right after that, I should have just initially gone to Twitter. I don't know what I was thinking, but I was like, well, maybe I'll go to Fox, because nope, they didn't have what I needed. So then I went to Twitter, and that's when I got my information. I went to Twitter, and so they're dying. They are gasping for air, gasping. They suck.
And so
even when they start covering it, you're still going to get more up-to-date information on Twitter.
Totally. It's alternative media. That's who has it. And that's where people are turning. And they don't want to see all that, like he said, all the plastic, just enhanced people that are giving you a bunch of bullshit, which is what you essentially get. I mean, the MSNBCs and the CNNs and the ABCs, like, seriously? It's all propaganda.
I know yesterday we spent some time on Laura Loomer and her crazy stuff about Gabby Giffords yesterday, calling her brain dead and all that stuff. The latest from Laura Loomer is so freaking batshit that I now, but Democrats are also so batshit that I don't know what to believe. And so somebody else, I saw this because I don't follow Laura Loomer and never will. In fact, I have her muted because I just loathe her so much. But somebody else tweeted a screenshot of what she said, and her comment was, at some point you guys are going to learn the truth about this woman. She is harming our party. This is not honest. This is not journalism. And the tweet was, "Scoop, I hear that a black trans doctor will be performing an abortion on a white woman live on stage at the DNC convention in Chicago in August." And is she kidding? I don't think so. I don't know that she's got a sense of humor anyway. This is like the way that she's positioning this is the way she positions all of her.
It's a scoop. It's a scoop. Like, that's actually going to happen. Yeah.
If you follow this crazy, I don't even know. Like, what is wrong with you? Because she is a lunatic, an absolute lunatic. And I just don't understand.
I honestly don't even know what to do with that information.
Yeah, because then, like, watch it happen. And then
right.
We'll be like, well.
Right. I know. Well, I know that's the thing. I don't know what to do with it. So if it
happens, then I will stop criticizing Laura Loomer for a while.
At least for 3 months. How's that? But I just don't know what to do with it.
Crazy, full on crazy. All right, let's get into some election stuff. For Kamala, we've got now Gretchen Whitmer and Josh Shapiro out on the campaign trail doing, they're stumping for her. And apparently they think that cursing is the way to be relatable. And it just sounds weird coming from them. I mean, granted, I will throw out the words, but I'm not campaigning for anybody.
But we're a podcast, right? It's like,
right.
These are elected representatives. It's a little bit different. When I worked in corporate America, I acted accordingly.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Exactly right.
It was different. It's two best friends talking about stuff. It's totally different. So there's a time and a place for certain things, and you have to have a level of decorum. And so this is just dumb. And they're trying to act edgy, and it's stupid. Like, shut up.
It's just dumb.
It is
especially
dumb.
From Casserole Gretchen.
Yeah, Casserole.
Here she is acting all tough.
How good is Josh Shapiro? Well, he's gotten a heck of a lot done in over the last year and a half. And it's another example of Democratic governors who believe in our three-part strategy. Get shit done.
They've got nothing done. You can say that. I'm super edgy. Look at me. Got a casserole. Oh my gosh, you guys. But you can say, we're going to get shit done. But they haven't done anything. What have they done? You can look at their record. Their record is absolutely dismal. We're a complete dumpster fire everywhere. And then look at any Democrat city. It is, you want to say the word shit? They're all shitholes. All of them.
That's right.
Gretchen.
Teresa, thank you. Teresa says the problem with Loomer is she has a following on social media, but unfortunately the other side's crazy, occupy seats in our Congress and Senate. She does have a following. She's got millions of people listening to her and hanging on her every word. Terrifying.
Yeah.
Mel Hope 9 says, I got rid of cable TV so I wouldn't be tempted to watch the news. I prefer to get my news from the chicks.
Well, that's sweet.
That is very sweet. Here's Josh Shapiro at the same event, or no, this may be actually a different event, but he's got the message from Democrats. Yeah, be edgy and use all the bad words.
He's not just afraid to debate her because he knows she's going to kick his ass in the debate. She is a skilled debater. But he's afraid to debate her because he's afraid of his record. He's afraid of having to defend a record that has been really dangerous and destructive.
Dude, first of all, he's not afraid of anybody, which is hilarious. Right? Second of all, you're not going to be VP candidate because you're Jewish. Just FYI. They're not going to put you there. Because I don't know if he knows this, but they don't like Jewish people. So, but it's neat that you used a bad word.
Right. Well, and you'll notice, you're going to see this more and more. We already saw it with the whole fracking thing, right? She said it when she was running for president. She said, I'm going to ban fracking. I have been very involved in banning fracking. Now she's turned that around. She's doing this on so many things, you guys. So Newswire reported she's no longer supporting Medicare for all, even though she's on tape plenty saying that she wants universal health care. Now she's saying she opposes mandatory assault weapons buyback, even though she's clearly on tape saying we absolutely need to have mandatory weapons buyback programs. So everything that this woman has said she believes, she is now saying the opposite. And all of her sheep are still like, we're voting for you because you're a Black woman.
Right. It's all about the melanin content in their skin. This is what because they are sheep. They're lobotomized sheep. That's all they care about is identity politics. That's it.
I love the way that this account put it. Kamala Harris harshly condemns Kamala Harris's policies in a stunning rebuke of Kamala Harris as Kamala Harris tries to appeal to swing voters who hate Kamala Harris.
Right. She stands for nothing. And I do think she is super far left, right? I think that she'll do whatever it is that like the cabal tells her what to do. But and I do think she is far left. She's capable of doing a lot of crazy liberal crap. But at the same time, I think she stands for nothing.
Nothing.
She's malleable. She's squishy. She's
that person who will wait for her marching orders on what she believes in.
Yeah. She doesn't stand for a thing. She's just like, you tell me what to think and I'll think it. I'll think whatever you want me to think as long as I have power.
Or not even think it. Just tell me what's polling well, and I'll say
and I'll do it.
And I'm for that thing.
Yeah, that's the gross. The worst kind of person. The worst.
And Biden
kind.
was the same way. I think Kamala is worse. I mean,
oh my God, yeah, the absolute worst kind of person.
Yeah, because she's worse. I think because she's so arrogant. At least Joe Biden was like, "Hody do, I'm a folksy guy."
Yeah,
you know. But Kamala is like, she thinks she is everything.
Yeah, she's haughty.
Here's DeSantis with some choice words for Kamala. Right here.
I mean, they're taking a San Francisco Democrat who has no accomplishments. She's as vapid as a politician you're going to find. And they're trying to turn her into like a cultural phenomenon. They're trying to make fetch happen. But I think the American people are too smart for this because at the end of the day, Harris is a leftist San Francisco Democrat. San Francisco Democrats have destroyed the city of San Francisco. San Francisco Democrats have also destroyed the state of California. Why on earth would we want to have a San Francisco Democrat in the Oval Office to dig our country even in a deeper hole than Biden is already leaving us?
He's absolutely right. Don't California my America.
Exactly.
God.
Exactly.
Get a grip.
Governor
2028, baby. 2028.
There was a moment with Senator Kennedy, who you know we love on this show, and Neil Cavuto, that was so weird yesterday, because Kennedy decided to call Kamala a ding dong, which I thought I say that to like Jackson when he was a kid. You know, if he did something wrong, I was like, you ding dong.
It's very that's very tepid. It's not a big deal.
So,
like you just
it's like calling someone a dork.
Ding dong. I think you've actually called me a ding dong sometimes. Don't be a ding dong, Daisy. Yeah, and I'm just like, that's cute. That's cute.
I mean, it's like the most mild of insults when you think about all the insults that are available
especially
to you.
When you've been called the C word, like ding dong is nothing.
Ding dong is welcome.
It is. Yeah. Ding dong.
You should be ding dong Daisy. Is
right. Right.
Anyway, that is the word that Senator Kennedy chose to describe Kamala. And Neil Cavuto lost his mind and basically accused him of being racist. And it just escalated. And it was bizarre.
Fair, but I'm just telling you what the polls show.
many Americans think that the vice president is a little bit of a ding-dong, that she's not serious.
Well, this ding-dong, Senator, has risen.
I don't care about her race. I care about her
Then
competence.
why call her a ding-dong?
And I'm telling you what the polling shows. I'm telling you what the polling shows. And it does. And I'll be glad to sit down with you and walk you through the polls.
Please do, because I never know when it's constructed to call people names, you know, Senator. I just, on the left or the right. But
I'm sorry if it hurts your feelings, but let me say it again.
Senator, you keep bringing it back to my feelings. My feelings matter a little. All I'm telling you is if you think you can gain this November calling people names, I don't know how far that goes, left or right, but we'll see. It's still early, to your point.
Your feelings seem to me like they matter to you a lot, Neil,
right?
And I'm trying to be objective here. Let me say it again.
Are you really being objective, Senator? I just think you've got a bash-a-thon, a name calling at her. If you call that being objective, I don't know.
Say it
Senator,
again.
I do want to thank you for coming.
Well, thank you for having me, Neil. I hope you have a better day.
Yeah, so do I. Hope you have a better day.
Oh my God.
I mean, it was just the strangest thing.
He looked like such a little baby. Like just a little girl, didn't he? Neil Cavuto, are you all right? Somebody must have called him a ding dong when he was little. Like,
yes, he has trauma.
I think he has childhood trauma. Somebody called him a ding dong. Like there was some sort of school bully that called him that, and he's still like coping.
Mm-hmm.
And it totally was about his feelings. It was 100% about his feel bads in that moment.
Yeah.
And Kennedy knew it, and we all knew it. Come on, Neil, get a grip. Like put some salve on that.
Right? Wasn't that amazing?
Wow. God, bless his heart. I just wanted Kennedy so badly at the end to be like, ding dong. Ding dong, ding dong.
Well, you're a ding dong too, Neil. That's what he should have said.
That would have been so great.
Newt Gingrich, who has been pretty optimistic mostly about Trump's chances to win up until this op-ed, is now not feeling so optimistic. So he just wrote an op-ed for Fox News and said, "Take it from me, Republicans, Kamala Harris is a strong candidate. Do not underestimate her," which is a message that you and I have been saying from the get-go as well, because it's a concern. And as you remember, Nikki Haley, when she was in the primary battle against Trump, she was insisting many times that if she's not the first woman president, Kamala will be. And she's got all the receipts now to show exactly that.
If Donald Trump is the nominee of the Republican Party, we will have a President Kamala Harris. That's just a fact. And the party that gets rid of their 80-year-old candidate is the party that will win. There will be a female president of the United States. It will either be me or it will be Kamala Harris. There's no way that Donald Trump is going to win this election. You're going to have a female president of the United States. It's either going to be me or it's going to be Kamala Harris. Joe Biden is not going to be the nominee. I would make any bets about that. The party that gets rid of their 80-year-old candidate is the party that's going to win.
Who do you think will be the Democratic nominee?
Well, I've said there's going to be a female president of the United States. It will either be me or it will be Kamala Harris. And if Donald Trump is the nominee, mark my words, we will see a President Kamala Harris.
Oh my gosh, that is so depressing.
I mean, somebody said, listen, she may be bitter, but she may, if she's right.
And she was saying in February, Joe Biden's not going to be, he's not going to be in this race.
She was right about that. I don't like that she's right, but she was right about Joe Biden. I'm not a fan that she's right, but.
Well, and speaking of somebody who has always been right, at least since 1984, since he first started predicting elections, Professor Alan Lichtman has made his prediction for the general election of this year, and it's not good, you guys.
I know exactly where we stand, even though I'm not going to make a final prediction until the Democratic convention. Under my 13-key system, which probes the strength and performance of the White House party, how elections really work, if 6 or more of my keys fall against the White House party, they are predicted losers, otherwise a predicted winner. Right now with Harris, the Democrats are down 3 keys. My mandate key, because they lost House seats in 2022 in the U.S. House. Incumbency, because it's an open seat. and incumbent charisma because Harris is not an FDR. That means 3 more keys would have to fall to predict their defeat. It's possible, but a lot would have to go wrong for Harris to lose. So what are the 4 keys you really should be looking at? Third party. Will RFK Jr. stabilize at least 10% in the polls? It's the only time I have to use the polls. I have nothing else. I think that's unlikely. Social unrest. Will there be a huge outburst of social unrest at the Democratic convention like we saw in the riots of '68? I don't think so, but it's possible. And the 2 shakiest keys, foreign/military failure and foreign/military success. So a lot would have to go wrong for Harris and the Democrats to lose 3 of those 4 keys. But I'll tell you definitively, Chris, in a little less than a month.
I mean, we'll see.
We'll see.
We'll see. There are a couple people. I love some of the comments. Never trust a man in a hairpiece. I love that one. That was a great comment. I'm sorry I didn't catch your name. And then you know, somebody also said that he didn't think that Biden was going to step down, and he did. So it's not like
that's something.
It's not like this guy has never been wrong. So there's that. And listen, like we've said, and I will say it time and time again, just make sure you get to the polls and you vote, because they cheat. They cheat, you guys.
Mm-hmm.
And like, he can say all the things and talk about all the stats and blah, 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 blah.
He should make that one of his keys.
Cheating should be one of his keys.
Yeah, for real.
Because they're going to do it.
Mm-hmm. The Brian Brumley says, show us on the doll where they hurt you, Mr. Cavuto.
Right.
And Audrey Krause says, Kamala is an empty pantsuit. Indeed, she is.
Yeah.
She is also now on TikTok. And so they're putting out videos like this.
Kamala, what are we going to say to Donald Trump in November?
Bye, bye, bye.
That's happening now. So let me give you some good news. Now that I've thrown all that at you, we do have a couple of testimonials, for lack of a better word, from one is an actress I've never heard of. Her name's Amanda Seales, and she's spoken to Kamala, and she isn't buying what Kamala's selling.
Of Kamala Harris stating things. I don't need politicians to state things. I need politicians to do things.
Amen.
When I met with Kamala Harris after she summoned me, I said to her straight up, you talk out 2 sides of your neck and we don't know what you're talking about. I wouldn't be surprised if it's Kamala Harris who's trying to shut me the fuck up. Because I told her straight up that I feel like she is disingenuous in her messaging. And she said to me, well, you're being too critical. And I said, I am a voter. I'm supposed to be critical.
Right.
Listen to me.
You work for me. I'm your employer. I'm going to be critical because you're basically interviewing for a job. And isn't that the nature of it? I mean, you used to work in HR. Yeah. You're the person that's sitting in the seat interviewing is supposed to be the one sweating bullets. It's not me. I shouldn't be the one sweating bullets. It should be you, Kamala.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I mean, this is the thing. They've lost sight of that, you guys. All of them have lost sight of that. They all should be sweating bullets every damn day.
God, I wish that was what they were doing. And I just don't
they're not.
feel like it
they're
is.
all very comfortable. They're all very comfortable eating like grandiose meals on our dime and doing the things. And they have all these benefits and these perks that we don't have. It's all like backwards. It's all not how our founders are spinning in their graves. Not how
Here is another message that is hopeful.
I don't give a damn if Kamala Harris is black, if she's white, if she's Chinese, Japanese, Filipino, Indian, it doesn't matter. If she was a bad vice president, which she is, she's not going to make a good president. All she's done these last 4 years is tinker around the country with one talking point, only speaking in rhyme, and she has aided in the destruction of this country right alongside Joe Biden. If you're going to vote for that, knowing everything that you've seen these last 4 years, then you're an idiot.
She's right. She's 100% correct. And there are a lot of idiots out there who are just like, but she's black.
Right. I mean, that's the thing, is that we have to compete against the idiots, and there's so many of them.
So many
idiots. Speaking of idiots, Caitlin Collins of CNN thought, I guess, that she had some huge scoop with this like secret recording of JD Vance that came out. And so she leads this scoop by saying, this is so different than what Trump and Vance are saying out in the open. They're terrified of Kamala. And you can tell because of this secret recording. You guys, this is like the least big deal ever. He's just saying what happened with Kamala becoming the new person that's running it. Maybe I'm like not making enough of it, but you guys tell me what you think.
But there's also breaking news on the other VP front tonight, and that's a recording that was obtained by the Washington Post that reveals Trump's running mate, JD Vance, telling a private audience something very different than what we've been hearing from the Trump campaign publicly about Vice President Harris.
All of us were hit with a little bit of a political sucker punch. The bad news is that Kamala Harris does not have the same baggage as Joe Biden, because whatever we might say, Kamala Harris is a lot younger, and Kamala Harris is obviously not struggling in the same ways that Joe Biden did.
Okay, so
candid comments there, and they may just be an accurate assessment of how much Biden dropping out of the race has shaken things up.
Yeah. That's literally just what happened.
Like, I know. Like, what is the big deal?
Okay, so it's not just me, because I was like, why is this a thing?
It's like basically he said Kamala is not shitting her pants. That's right. It's like, congratulations.
And Kamala. They cut it off, right? Because like you could tell he said the bad news is blah. And then they cut it off before he gets to whatever the good news was. They didn't play that part.
Of course they didn't play that part, because this is our mainstream media. These people are just insufferable. So what?
I just thought that was so pointless. Donald Trump was on with Laura Ingraham last night, and she asked him from a personal standpoint, like how Melania reacted to the assassination attempt on him. And it was just very, very Trumpy the way that he answered, and thought you guys would like this.
What was Melania's reaction, if you don't mind my asking? I know this is very personal, when she learned about what happened on that field in Butler.
She was watching.
Oh, she was watching in real time?
She was watching live. It was all over the place. It was on television. It was on your network, but it was all over the place. And she was watching. I asked her that. I mean, I wasn't there. I was on the ground. And when the world started to, like, you could talk to people, I said, so what was your feeling? And she can't really even talk about it.
Traumatized.
Which is okay, because that means she likes me.
No, she
loves me.
That's good.
I mean, let's say she could talk about it freely. That wouldn't be. I'm not so sure which is better. God. But she either likes or loves me, and that's nice. But I will say this, look, when I went down, she thought the worst had happened, because I went down. And I grabbed my hand, and I saw my hand was loaded up with blood. You see it in slow motion, instant replay. You know, we had hundreds of press there. So this was covered live. They would have had instant replay and everything else, which they already do in this. But supposing the worst happened, you know, one man, Corey, was killed, hit horribly,
amazing man,
horribly in the head. And, you know, he was guarding his family.
That's why how important it is to get to the bottom of why this was allowed to occur. He died.
It was weird that he was like saying, no, when she said that at the end. I was like, why would you not want to know what happened and get to the bottom of it?
Yeah.
But anyway, she likes him. And maybe she loves him even.
She probably loves him. I mean... it's kind of sweet in a Trumpy way, you know.
It's super, super Trumpy. I loved it. I loved it. Mm-hmm. Becky F, thank you. Becky says, please add a Sweet Meteor of Death t-shirt to your merch. Put some salve on that. Would also be a great t-shirt.
I will try, but so far they're not accepting any of my new requests for new merch. So
what the hell?
I don't know. Yeah, we do need a new store, like immediately.
Diana says Neil's mad. He loves to snack on Hostess ding dongs. Maybe that's what it is. He's mad about the association with the Hostess brand.
He may be. God, that guy is such a baby.
And Leslie L says, why are people having problems recognizing ignorance doesn't discriminate? You can be any race, sex, or religion and still be stupid. Just saying. That's exactly
You know
right.
what? It's going back to the Neil. We need to get Kennedy on our show.
I would love that.
Oh, God, I just love to sit and talk to him for like a half hour, just about everything.
But really, I would just be like, please entertain us and go.
For like a half hour. Can you just, we're just going to sit back and let you just say Kennedyisms.
Yes.
For a half hour.
Things. Just say weird things.
I just love him.
All right. Well, we need to talk, speaking of race and how intricately woven that is into the fabric of this entire election cycle. We've already seen, yesterday we played that insufferable Mrs. Frazzled or whatever from the White Women for Kamala Zoom call. Last night, we know that there was the White Men for Kamala Zoom call. This is what they're doing. They already had the Black Women for Kamala. Like, it's crazy how they're segregating everything. A couple clips that I saw yesterday from the White Woman Zoom call that I just wanted to share, because these women are, just remember, they are among you in droves. And it's why we got to really come out in droves to vote for Trump this November. Here is just two women. One is, and I think they're like people of some prominence. The first one is Glennon Doyle. I don't know her, but maybe other people will.
We as a group of white women could do this moment and this 102 days differently. We could put ourselves out there and we could make mistakes and get scared and disagree and hurt each other's feelings and still stay connected to each other. We could not just post trust Black women. We could also start doing it.
What? Who is this? What's even happening?
These are the kinds of conversations that they were having.
I have a question. Could we do a White Women for Trump thing? Can we do that?
No. Oh, no.
You can't do that?
How dare you?
I'm just like, if everybody's so fixated on skin color, like, so we can't do like a people of pallor for Trump? Because that
would get a lot of bad press right there.
This is the thing that's so stupid. Okay, so Kamala, because she has some more melanin in her skin, she can get all the Black people and all the white people, and they can segregate and have clubs that are for her. But since Trump is like an orange tone, he can't, so we can't do that for him.
No, that's super racist.
Why is our country so stupid? Why is our country dumb? We're so dumb now.
So dumb.
It's
oh my
like
God.
The rules are so stupid because of the scientific, like, this is all biology. It's just melanin, you guys.
People are essentially just tanner than we are. It's a whole.
It's exactly what it is. And then it's like, and then they get to have like all these groups of like Black women and like Asian women and white women for Kamala. And we can't do that for Trump because it's racist.
You can't.
God,
Some
so
working
stupid.
stiff says, why can't we do chicks for Trump? Because that's sexist. Hello.
It's, I don't know. I think we could probably still do that. We could probably try it. We could try it. It's just so, everything's dumb.
Everything is dumb. And it gets even dumber. Here is Connie Britton, also, I guess, somebody of some importance.
And, interesting. White women. I mean, here we are. I have to admit, when I was writing stuff down, I was like, Karens for Kamala? I don't know. Why is it so difficult, as Glennon was saying, to acknowledge and address ourselves as white women?
Because it's stupid.
But here we are. And
because you're
I
dumb.
am so proud for all of us to be together as women, as white women. We are the ones that have the privilege, of course. And
really,
we too have had to fight and continue to fight for our equality, our selfhood, our freedom.
Can't.
So I am here tonight embracing myself in your incredible, profound white women midst, because we've got a fucking job to do, y'all.
These women are so, you can tell their actresses are so dramatic. We've got an effing job to do. I mean, as I sit here in my mansion, yeah, you're privileged. You have Hollywood privilege. And there are a lot of Black women in with you that have that Hollywood privilege that I'll never see as a white woman living in a small town in Texas. I'm just putting that out there. I mean, there's different, I guess, levels of privilege. If you want to these people live in a whole different world than I'll ever live in, you know? And then she acts as if that has something to do. It has nothing to do with the color of your skin. Stop it. You live in America. We're all Americans. Stop with it. Just stop.
They can't stop, won't stop.
They won't. They won't stop.
So yesterday, when we showed the clip of that same Zoom call, there was one speaker whose name is Ariel Fodor, and she's hugely popular. We were like yesterday years old when we even learned that she existed, but she goes by Mrs. Frazzled on TikTok, where she has like 1.5 million followers, and her whole shtick is to do gentle parenting videos. And yesterday, because I didn't know anything about her, I thought that was literal, that she literally put out videos about how to gentle parent kids. No. Her shtick is very, very different. It's to make gentle parenting toned videos geared at Republicans and conservatives to tell them how wrong they are in a very like a scolding tone. So I wanted to give you an example, because this is one of the most obnoxious, horrific women basically alive. So this was back in COVID days. She's been doing this a while, and she made this is a perfect example of what her gentle parenting videos look like, where she's scolding conservatives for not behaving properly. This tells you everything you need to know about who she is.
Got a fucking job to do, y'all.
America, if you can hear my voice, clap once. If you can hear my voice, clap twice. Do you know why I am here today, my friends?
Oh my God.
Lollapalooza? No, but that's a very good guess. That was very disappointing. I'm actually here because those of you who are unvaccinated, you are not welcome to play with the vaccinated friends anymore. I know. And you know why that is? Because they don't want to die. That's right. They do not want to die. So here's what we're going to do. When you get a vaccine, you're going to get a really cool card and you can laminate it if you want.
Is this chick for real?
And you're going to show it to private
all of her
businesses
videos are like
and hospitals and schools
Bat
to get
shit.
inside. Does that sound good? No. Are you having some big feelings right now? That's okay, friends. I'll give you 2 minutes, okay? And then I'll check back. Thank you, Miss.
I mean,
if you're not vaccinated, you're not welcome here. You can't play with the other kids. What does that sound like, you guys? I don't know. What does that sound like?
Insane.
She's never read a history book, this chick. Yeah. I mean, wow. Yeah. Complete and total insanity.
Yeah, just bizarre. So then we started to hear, that there was this white dude conference or Zoom call happening. And so registrations, according to the account Kamala's Wins, registrations had surpassed 75,000. This was yesterday afternoon. And the energy surrounding this campaign is unheard of. And Aaron, to your point, said if the GOP promoted a white dudes for Trump event, it would be on the front page of the WAPO and NYT.
This is the thing.
Maddow would tell her audience that Trump wants to bring back segregation. Universities would issue statements vowing to resist white supremacy. Totally true. All of it is totally true.
Right.
I mean,
you can't do it because they get to do that, and then they do it under the guise of, oh, we're just awesome and we're all about diversity. You guys are all about segregation, is what you are. You guys are all about racism. They are the racists because they are fixated on it. They're just all about it.
So we have a montage of the dude's Zoom call from last night.
God.
And you're going to see a lot of famous faces, a lot of politicians. Jeff Bridges was there. David Hogg, like all the worst of the worst were there.
Of course.
And it's just the one amazing thing that I saw about it is that a black dude decided to attend and they let him speak and that was okay, which then begged the question, what is this even really about? Like, what's the point? Why not just have Americans for Kamala?
Yeah.
And you can have
or
your Zoom
dudes.
call.
Or dudes for Kamala.
Yeah, or whatever.
But I guess if we can even call them dudes, because you mentioned David Hogg, and I'm like, is that really a dude?
Yeah, not really.
Yeah,
not really a dude. But you'll see a huge cast of characters that was there, and you'll hear a little bit of the nonsense that was spewed during this call. Right here. Oh wait, first there's just pictures.
Oh God, these are. Oh my
Here's the
God.
great news. How often in 100 days do you get to change the trajectory of the world? How often in 100 days do you get to do something that's going to impact generations to come? And how often in the world do you make that bastard wake up afterwards and know that a black woman kicked his ass and sent him on the road? And you know that's something that guy's going to have to live with for the rest of his life. So I got to tell all of you, please, please do what you can.
I'm white, I'm a dude, and I'm for Harris.
Over the last few years, you know, I've been thinking a lot about men.
I'm not sure if you guys can recall that feeling you had on the night of Tuesday, November 8th, 2016. I stood over my kid's bed.
It's Olaf. Is that Olaf?
And I wept.
White nationalists in MAGA, they want to speak for you specifically as white men.
In the marginalized communities that educate me every single day, that this is a constant education for all of us.
Kamala is carrying on her shoulders 248 years of pain, of agony, of hope, of frustration. And no matter how high she jumps, no matter how many degrees she has, no matter how good her grades are, she's never good enough because they're always moving the line.
What a variety of whiteness we have here, with like a rainbow of beige.
But man, I am scared to death of what the future could look like if we go back to another Trump administration.
Oh my
One
God.
that truly left working construction white men behind.
You've seen it with congressional leaders who have called Vice President Harris a DEI candidate.
Because she is.
Men are also more free in a country where we have a president who stands up for things like access to abortion care.
Let's be clear about who Donald Trump and JD Vance are. Donald Trump is a 34-time convicted felon, an adjudicated rapist, and a congenital liar. He's a fraud. And JD Vance is his mini-me. I even created my own cognitive test that describes the two of them. Sofa, dolphin, shark, cats, convict.
Real men respect women,
Oh,
their
yeah.
decisions.
Do they shower with
their
their daughters?
careers.
Do they do
And
that?
It's pretty clear that Donald Trump
Mhm.
and JD Vance don't.
A woman president, man. How exciting.
If there is a God, she's a terrible writer.
One day, we all will be asked what we did to stop this MAGA movement. What will your answer be?
That's what it looked like.
One day, we're all going to be asked, how did America become a communist shithole?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And
it's
we can
because
point to that moment.
we can point to this moment of beta males.
Oh
Because
my God.
weak men, man, this is what they cause. Weak men.
Mm-hmm.
Weak men cause this. Uh-huh.
Master of Disaster. Miriam, you are very pretty, but I'm a liberal. You should run for president and I'll be your VP on a unity ticket. It's a very good idea. No, it's not. No. So why are you giving us money? That's just super weird for some
it is
troll to
really
be giving us
weird.
money.
It is
I
really
mean,
weird for a
thank
liberal.
you, but like hopefully
Right.
you just learn something and
Yeah.
like
And plus-
learn the error of your ways here.
Also, you would never be her VP. I would be her VP.
And then that would be reverse order, and we will never do
It
that.
probably would be reversed. She'd be more of the VP.
Yeah, because the P sounds like a lot of work.
Yeah. Plus,
Vice
when we're,
presidents don't have to do
when
anything.
we're together, I'm always the driver.
It's true.
Mm-hmm.
Literally, when I'm with anybody, they're the driver.
Yeah, she doesn't like to drive, believe it or not.
Tammy RN says we just need patriots for Trump, period. And that's what we are. That's what we do. That's what it is.
Because we don't see thing in segments. We don't segregate ourselves. We don't do that because we're not racist and sexist like they say we are, because they're projectors. That's what they do. They project all that crap on us. Are you paying attention, liberal person? That's what you guys do. And it's gross and it's tearing the country apart, actually.
Debra Messing says, I have major secondhand embarrassment for these women. Yeah, I mean, the women and the men at this point. And it's hard to tell them apart.
It really is. The men are not men.
I know. Timothy Ham says, did Tampax sponsor those beta boys?
I swear. It's like different shades of beige. Look at us. We're like a rainbow. Oh,
right?
God.
Scott Jennings had a say about that on CNN last night, and it was perfect.
I am mystified by the newfound Democrat obsession
with racial segregation.
Yes.
I find all this racial segregation, I mean, I guess the party's getting back to its roots, but I find this crazy. I mean, that you are principally organizing all of your supporters by race and forcing them all to get on these calls, and you have to be a certain race or gender to get on the calls. I find this to be completely bizarre behavior.
And we don't. I mean,
she's like, absolutely, Scott, and we love it. We're awesome.
We love it. It's
We're great, and we're proponents of like all those different segregated things on campus where they have clubs for Black kids, and white kids need to be in a certain part of campus, and Black kids need to be in a certain part of campus. We're all for that, Scott. But you guys, you MAGA people, are racist. Really? Look in the mirror. God, these people are the ultimate gaslighting projectors. They are racist, and they have zero self-awareness. Zero.
And then just look at the new cover of New York Magazine. Camelot is what they're doing. Dave Rubin saying they pulled off the coup and now they throw it in our faces.
Yeah.
And Governor DeSantis said, is it possible to completely manufacture a cultural phenomenon by taking a vapid leftist San Francisco Democrat and turning her into something that she's not through nonstop gaslighting? Corporate media certainly trying to make fetch happen.
Yeah, they are. They really are. And it's working for some people because there are so many dumb people out there. Yeah, cognitive dissonance. It's remarkable.
Yep.
That people are so dumb.
But they are good at their messaging, right? I mean, they are good at it. And that's why their new talking point about the Trump Vance ticket, and specifically JD Vance, is about him being weird. And they have taken that term and created people thinking JD Vance is weird. Like they manifest this stuff right into existence. And it's really remarkable and terrifying to watch all at the same time. And we'll show you what we mean. Evitar, thank you. He says, apparently real men take a liking for inbreeding. And then Belle Bouche 9 says Connie Britton was in Spun City with Michael J. Fox. I didn't see that. So
yeah, she's in Nashville. She's in the show Nashville.
Oh, okay. I don't know any of those shows.
She was in an Ed Burns movie too, a long time ago, like in the 90s. You guys probably don't remember that. I'm aging myself.
I remember Ed Burns. I liked him.
I liked him
What's
too.
What's he doing? Is he alive?
He is just spending his money. He's like hanging out remember he married didn't he marry Christy Turlington? One of the models. He married
Oh, that's right.
one of the 90s supermodels, and they have like gorgeous kids and they lived happily ever after. That's what I would have done if I made all this money in the 90s. I would have been like, I'm checking out. Bye.
Yep. I'm going to have to look him up later because I completely forgot he existed.
Yep.
All right. So back to weird. So this is kind of where it started. The Kamala headquarters, Twitter account said JD Vance is weird and creepy. He has obsession with controlling women's most personal healthcare decisions, from voting against protecting access to IVF to advocating for tracking menstrual cycles to calling for a national abortion ban to bar women from traveling to access the care they need. It's not just bad policy. It's creepy. It's unacceptable, and voters won't stand for it. Women have had enough of the Trump Vance ticket, blah, blah, blah. So
did you see the Project 2025 bullshit there again?
Lies. They always
lies, race, lies.
But the mainstream media, man, they got the message. Did they ever? And so now this is what you're hearing all over.
Some of what he and his running mate are saying, well, it's just plain weird.
These guys are just weird. That's who they are. As weird and creepy as JD Vance.
Oh, okay.
Super weird idea from JD Vance.
Yeah, it's not. I mean, it's quite weird. They're just plain weird.
Just plain weird.
Just plain weird.
Unbelievable.
That stuff is weird. They come across weird and then they start being weird. Yeah, they're weird.
Being a really weird.
He's such a weirdo.
Donald Trump and his weirdo running mate, they're weird. Deeply and profoundly weird. They are weird.
These Republicans just being weird. It's just weird. It's really weird.
Republican weirdness goes even deeper.
He said a lot of things that are weird, a weird style that he brings, weird policies. Let's start with the weird thing, because it is a thing.
Just plain weird.
What was weird was talking about Diet Mountain Dew. Who drinks Diet Mountain Dew?
You ever seen the guy laugh?
I love that.
That seems very weird to me that that an adult can go through 6.5 years of being in the public eye. If he has laughed, it's at someone, not with someone. That is weird behavior.
Weird and cultish.
These are weird people on the other side.
He kind of doubled down on his weird ideas.
I think weird is probably generous.
Simply weird. These guys are just plain weird.
Vance as weird?
You know, as the campaign said, weird.
It really is just plain weird.
JD Vance, plain weird. No,
I mean, I don't know how else you could read it.
Weird. It is kind of weird.
We're not afraid of weird people. The other side, they're just weird.
Why are you being so weird?
Vance has done something more extreme, more weird.
No matter what kind of weird stuff they keep saying.
Trump and Vance are just weird, in addition to being dangerous to democracy.
It's the weird part that's the most engaging.
Whom he addressed as my beautiful Christians, which was super weird. Weird tech bro, JD Vance.
He's a weird guy.
JD Vance, uneasy and sort of weird.
Frankly, for lack of a better word, that he's weird.
Sarcastic remarks that aren't even funny, and he kind of shows that he can't really deliver a one-liner.
So, Sam, weird is the word here in terms of initial impressions from Vance to the American public this morning. Let's talk about this new race and that new talking point. Weird or weirdos, or however you want to put it. Tell us, do you agree with that assessment? And why do you think it's breaking through?
Well, it's quite a jarring segue. Weirdos and freaks. Here's Governor Whitmer. I think that my colleagues are pointing out the obvious, that the agenda, the way they talk to people, the way they address people, it is bizarre.
Okay. So how do you think they do this? Do you think they send it out like in an email? Because seriously, how you can't deny, if you're even a liberal watching this, you cannot deny that they all get marching orders.
Oh yeah.
That all of these absolute lobotomized lemmings, these total sheep, just get marching orders. They get an order that says, this is the new word of the week that you're going to say on the air, because you have no critical thinking skills and you're a total follower and you're just a slave to the machine. So, go ahead and use that word.
Well, we saw the actual piece of paper that was being passed around in the halls of Congress and the media about the border czar thing. Here's how you're gonna address that. She's never been the border czar. So that's the new talking point, and go.
So was that delivered? So we saw a piece of paper, but was that delivered via like email? Was it disseminated via email to all of these? Because like David Hogg got it, So they must have like this giant list that they just send en masse to all these people, and they say, okay, so like Obama and all the people in the cabal are just like, okay, this is what we're going to do this week. They have like all these PR people that are like, well, let's call him weird. Because that'll work. Because, weird and creepy, that works. Because listen, it's not weird and creepy to sniff kids and shower with your daughter, but JD Vance, who is a Marine who loves his wife and is a great family man and has all the values that you would want in a man, somehow he's weird and creepy. Let's make it so. And they do it. And they carry it out because these people are void of morality and they suck. I don't know how they sleep at night, but they do it. And people who are stupid and they can't think for themselves, they latch onto it and they're like, yeah, he's weird. He's weird.
I have a feeling that David Hogg is like on that second or maybe even tertiary tier where like there's the Obama machine, right? That has like mainstream media heads, and then the mainstream media starts saying it, and then people like David Hogg are like, oh, okay, I need to start saying that too.
Yeah, like he's sucking at the teat of like the first and second tier. He's like tertiary, he's like the third tier, and he's like, I want to say it too because I want to be cool. I want to be cool like first and second. I'm third string.
Right.
He's not even a string. Like he didn't even make the JV team, He just wants to be cool.
Scott Jennings was asked about it, and he was Scott Jennings about it.
Got the talking point, Scott. They've got it. And then you chuckle, but it's the kind of word that if it sticks in people's minds can make whoever you're talking about look kind of silly and small. Are you worried about it?
No, because I think any Republican would say, I think the Democrats are weird. I mean, I think it's weird that Kamala Harris is in the process right now of trying to repudiate every single position she ever took when she ran for president. I think it's weird that they're currently engaged in massive racial segregation of all their supporters. I mean, you could go on and on and on about all the weird things that Kamala Harris is doing, all the weird things she's done. I think it's weird of these phrases she uses in her speeches all the time. So I don't think the campaign is going to be fought on who's more weird, who's seen as more weird. I think it's going to be fought on one thing, and it's going to be on who can do the best job as president In the Wall Street Journal poll this week, Donald Trump had a 51% job approval. The Biden-Harris ticket is still down in the mid-30s. It's going to be fought on cost of living. It's going to be fought on immigration and who can make my life better. These semantics about weird and that's not the issue for swing voters. It's why is my life so expensive and why is my community unsafe and overrun with illegal immigration?
Okay,
right. And I think it's weird that they don't know what a woman is and they are like dead set on cutting off the genitals of children. Don't you guys think that's weird? Maybe just a little bit.
There's so many examples of how they're weird. And I grabbed a bunch of screenshots that we can run through quickly, but like there's too many to count. Vivek chiming in saying this whole they're weird argument from the Democrats is dumb and juvenile. This is a presidential election, not a high school prom queen contest. It's also a tad ironic coming from the party that preaches diversity and inclusion. Win on policy if you can, but cut the crap, please.
They won't cut the crap. They won't.
No, they won't. Because AOC responded and saying, being obsessed with repressing women is goofy.
It's
trying
goofy.
to watch what LGBTQ plus people do all the time is abnormal. Punishing people who don't have biological offspring is creepy. It's an incel platform, dude. It's super weird and people need to know.
Yeah.
My God.
Okay. You know who's weird? Heard's soon-to-be husband. He's weird.
When are they getting married?
I don't know.
Yeah,
but yeah, this is
weird.
The memes yesterday, like all the stuff coming out about this yesterday, just brilliant. Yeah, like we're weird, you guys.
We're weird.
We're weird. Yeah,
there's so many. You guys are so
many. We're
so
weird.
Many.
We're super weird. We're totally weird, you guys. It's weird. Yeah, totally. Weird.
I mean, the examples.
Look, countless examples. Yeah, JD Vance is weird.
Man, he's super weird.
Yeah.
And then we had Ben Shapiro chime in on this weird thing. Oh yeah, this was a good one too.
Oh yeah, JD Vance is weird. He's so weird, you guys.
So apparently CNN and MSNBC used the word weird to describe JD Vance in the last 2 days over 150 times. So if you don't believe that they're all marching in lockstep and they don't get their talking points from the DNC, they 100% do. So on my show today, I talked a little bit about the sort of weird slur and the fact that they're using this. Again, to me, this is all projection because there are only two ways in which a candidate is weird. One is sort of interpersonally weird, right? So you might say somebody who laughs strangely and who starts jabbering about coconut trees. That might be a little weird. JD is not that, right? When JD talks, JD is actually perfectly normal. You watch him on TV, you watch him give a speech. He's like a normal person who is talking. If anything, he lies on the sort of dull side in terms of his sort of affect. Right? He's not somebody who's electric on TV. He's not like Vivek, very live, right? He is exactly kind of normal when he's on TV. And then there's weird positionally. And here's where you get to something sort of fascinating. According to the left, what makes you weird is believing that it is actually of moral benefit to the United States for people to have children. That's JD's actual position. It also happens to be the biologically correct position, which is that if you wish society to propagate itself, it's very important that on a moral level, people have kids.
He's right. What's right is wrong now. It's
yeah,
like
everything's upside down.
Everything is upside down. And I'm okay being on the side. If they want to call that weird, then I guess I'm weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess
Puzzled
I am.
80 says something similar. She says, or he says, if JD is weird, I am too. Let's gaslight them back and make that the next campaign ad. Show him in his service uniform and label him weird. And then go roll to all kinds of veterans and service members saying, I'm weird too, then I will be that weird.
Yeah.
That kind of weird.
Listen, you can be on the side of kid mutilating freaks. I'm on the right side.
We'll be over here.
F
being
off.
normal.
Right.
Copper Top 1985 says, redheads for Trump. We are the true minority at 1% of the global population.
Look at that. Gingers for Trump.
There you go.
I love
Nerd
it.
Dad 83 says, last week I pushed all the buttons like Daisy told me to. I now own 6 chickens, started a pyramid scheme, and I'm helping a Nigerian prince. Thanks, Daisy.
I love it. You're welcome.
Timothy Ham says, weird and creepy is Joe sniffing kids. Now Maca-licious, Daisy-licious, take my money. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Barbara Trammell says, I know I'm late in the comments. Smart women for Trump Zoom call. There you go.
Yep.
Aaron Powers says, new campaign slogan, Trump Vance 2024. Let's get weird. You son of a bitch, I'm in.
Yes.
And Lisa Behe, the 4 a.m. talking points have been a thing since 2008 with Obama.
Yep. You're absolutely right. We were there from the beginning.
Oh yeah. Batya Ungar-Sargon, always so good at putting a different spin or a unique spin on the topics of the day. And that is true of this weirdness as well.
Let me explain to you and your viewers why they're using this weird language. If you look at Donald Trump and JD Vance just on policy, okay? Every issue that Donald Trump is running on has 65% or more support among the American people. He supports abortion up to 15 weeks, like 65% of Americans. He supports gay marriage, like 65% of Americans. He supports unions, like 65% of Americans. He supports mass deportations, like 65% of Americans, okay? This is a man whose platform reflects where the vast, moderate middle of America is at, okay? That is why they have to smear him as a fascist or as weird, because the Democrats no longer speak to where the average American is at. And so they have to obfuscate that because they think, just like Kaylee said, they think that average Americans are weird, right? That's who Donald Trump is speaking to.
She's right.
I love her so much.
I do too.
She always just has that unique little take, you know? I love her.
And she's good at wrapping it up and putting a bow on it.
Really, really good. And then speaking of weird, this is a new PAC ad from Democrats for Kamala. You tell me that this isn't completely weird.
MAGA Republicans banned abortion, but that's just the start. That's just the start.
If Trump gets elected, we want the government involved in all aspects of your sex life.
Ew!
Way more involved.
Way more involved. When you have sexual intercourse, it should be illegal to use contraception. No pills, no condoms.
Your genitals are reserved for procreation.
If you freeze 12 eggs, you should be required to have 12 babies, or else you're a serial killer. And I'm definitely not a serial killer.
Are you?
My son monitors my porn usage to make sure I'm not self-pleasuring.
Just like Speaker of the House Mike Johnson. That's true, you can look it up.
Don't you think that's normal?
Yeah, I do.
It's normal for your son to do that.
You should have a family member monitor your porn use too.
Because pleasuring yourself is very, very naughty.
I'm voting in November.
I'm voting in November.
We're all voting in November. Are you?
I just... That's
these
freaking
people.
insane.
These people are mental. I swear to God. I want a divorce. Like every day, I want a divorce. Why won't somebody give me a divorce? We just need Texas. All the liberals, GTFO, Texas. Okay, just give me Texas, and I want a divorce. We can make this happen. We can. I cannot with these people anymore. I can't.
I know. The fact that so many of them look exactly like that. Says everything you need to know.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
And then add in the blue hairs and I'm done.
The psychopaths from Just Stop Oil causing total mayhem, even though a bunch of their people just went to jail for a big long time. They're still out there causing mayhem. They need more jail sentences. That's the only way to get this shit to stop. But they tried to really mess up a couple of different UK airports. So you're going to see two clips, two different airports where they caused complete chaos. And I'll just let them play together.
What in the world?
Just destructive ass.
Why doesn't somebody just take them down right there?
Right?
I mean, seriously, where is the good Samaritan that just pummels them right there? Where's security when you need them? I swear, I would feel compelled to tackle these people.
I know, right? The rage. And then this, I would absolutely kick them in the face if they did this.
Oh my God,
I was
please
in
tell me
line.
they're not going to do it to people. Are they doing it to people?
No, but they just set up right where you need to go through security.
Oh my God. I would be
Everyone's-
kicking. I would be kicking people. I would be kicking people.
Everything.
There'd be so much kicking. Listen, it's bad enough traveling. Like you have no idea how much. I already feel rage when I'm traveling.
Right?
This would not be. I better not ever encounter this when I'm traveling. I would be arrested. I would be so arrested.
And how are they not? Like how
oh my
are
God,
they not arrested?
I would be kicking people in the face. I can't. I just can't. Where is security? Just Stop Oil. Do they not understand like everything that they have on everything Is it like all the things that they wear? Did they drive there? How did they get there? How did they get to that place that they're in right now? Did they all walk? Because I feel like just stop oil. Okay, let's see how that works out for you. You idiots.
Anastasia 63 says the Dems are really concerned with genitalia, and they definitely are. In fact, this next video, this is a woman talking about what she is going to do or not do if Trump becomes president.
Successful in this next presidential election, I will not be having another baby. I'm currently a mother and desperately want to have another baby. However, since Republicans have politicized my uterus and reproductive health care, overturned Roe v. Wade, and made women's health and bodies part of their political agenda to be controlled, I do not think it is safe, even in California, even in blue states, to have a pregnancy in a Republican-controlled country.
Can you imagine?
She should not.
Says, I'm not going to have a baby because I can't abort it. That's her logic.
That is her logic. She should never have another kid ever again.
Ever. Like, I'm fine with that. I feel like that's a gift to the world.
Yeah, exactly. And her children, they're going to see that video one day. Like, she's going to have a daughter that sees that, and a son, or whatever. If she has a daughter or son, they're going to see that and they're going to be like, wow, that was my mom's logic.
Just
can you
makes
imagine?
no sense.
Yeah, I know, right? My mom is a dumbass, a complete and colossal dumbass. Wow. All right.
It is time for your amazing DD.
I know. I just love this, you guys. So it's a sweet man who has dementia. And I just loved it because I guess I didn't know this. I was years old when I learned that when you have dementia, you don't lose everything. Like
your musicality.
He still has his musicality. Right. And so this lovely young woman sang with this gentleman, and he still was able to sing, and it's just so lovely. I wanted to share it with you guys. I mean,
oh my God.
Was that not the best? I
can't.
I just love him. And she's so sweet to do that, right? So sweet. I love that whole thing. So yeah, music. I love music. I'm such a music person. And music Music, man. Music.
Over on Locals, Bryzer said, Ave Maria, all the tears. C2 Taylor says, my daughter is a music therapist. I get these types of stories all the time, and it's beautiful.
It is beautiful.
Lori Ween says, it's going to be a long show. Get used to the new normal, ladies. Love starting my day with you. I get news alerts from Fox, but I look to you and Benny Johnson for the real story. Take my money. Thank you so much. She says the power and importance of music.
Yes.
And Shannon Pope says music is the last thing that we lose with age. Music keeps us going, man.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
All right, we do have some My Pillow Toks to share with you. The first one also just going to bust your heart wide open, you guys, because it's a little precious nugget of a child saying grace at presumably his daycare or nursery school or whatever.
Father God, we thank you for this food, any blessing.
Oh my gosh.
Make it nourishment to your body, to our body. All the boys and girls. Bless all the boys and girls. All over the world. All over the world. To receive food. In Jesus' name.
Amen.
Amen.
Amen. God bless him. Oh, I love him.
Isn't that
the sweetest little boy?
Oh my God.
Come give me a hug. Oh my gosh.
Next up, it's hard to top that, but next up we have Poppy the prairie dog, who is a pet, and apparently she knows that when she hears her name said Poppy, she has a little trick that she does, and it is so freaking cute.
Puppy! 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 I got some fresh kill for you.
That's the cutest thing ever.
Isn't it the cutest?
That is the cutest thing ever. Oh my gosh. What a
I love
sweetheart.
that so much. This is terrifying, so just be prepared to be scared.
Okay. All right.
Because it's scary. Because
scary.
Ghosts are clearly
very scary.
real.
Ghosts aren't real. Explain this.
Oh God. You know that was an orange cat. You know it was.
Totally.
Always an orange cat.
B Riser, you got the riser right. Most of the time people say Rizzer. LOL. Love you guys. Listening since your WIBC days. Thank you for that. One more. And it's thanks to our favorite rock star who does the animal voiceovers.
Yes.
He's doing a voiceover this time for, I think it's a golden retriever, who does not want his owner to leave without him. And so he's trying to come along too.
Play for work.
You are not going to work with me, and I have to go. This is not funny, mister.
Who laughing? I'm going to work.
Ariel.
What?
You cannot go to work.
Hold up, what are you trying to do? You ain't getting me off this car. I'm going to work.
You are a bad dog.
What you mean bad? I'm bad because I want to go to work?
Ariel.
Oh my God.
Get back in the fish.
Stop pulling me.
Get out.
Stop pulling me.
Take it back. I'm back.
Oh my God.
I'll sit in the back. Come on, let's go. I'll sit in the back.
He wants to go on an adventure.
Oh, I'm a turd now?
You okay, buddy?
He all right.
Did he knock you down?
Don't lie on me.
No, he hit my head on the
Nuh-uh.
All right, open the front door. See if you can get him out there. You okay, buddy?
I'm not okay. He was yanking my collar and some hair came off.
Ariel?
What?
Get out.
No, let me go, little boy.
Oh my God.
What you gonna do if I get out?
I'm going to beat you.
That's why I'm not getting out.
Come here.
Auntie done found me. Open the door, little boy. Open the Auntie got me.
Here.
Okay, I give up. I'm out. Psych, I'm back in.
He is just like, I am not getting out of this car. We are going on an adventure.
Oh my God. I just
Oh
love
my
that.
gosh. Speaking of dogs, mine are in here and I'm sorry. They just like decided
Get
to come
somebody
in
to
and-
flap.
They're
while
probably
they're
not going to
there.
flap. Now they're fighting. So they're probably not going to flap, you guys. It's just the way that it is. There's a cord in front of, there it is. In front
Yeah,
of
there you go. Not even Astrid?
No, she's on the couch. Just the boys are in here. And I'm not going to call
I just
her
saw
in here.
black and I
He's
didn't see the front of him.
Just
That's
the
not Astrid.
boys. And I think Theo wants to see. Theo keeps looking at the camera like, "Hey, how are you guys doing?" Hey, yeah, yeah, you guys. Okay, so we're bringing it in. Are we done?
Yes, those were your talks for today.
Yes, and my criminal dogs are in the back having a fight. So
look, we finished before 2 hours.
Look at that! The first time in 2 weeks.
I know, man.
Yeah, you guys have an amazing Tuesday, and we will talk to you tomorrow.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.